Our category is going to be a centerpiece for a long table for prom. Focal, the area or areas of a greater visual impact of weight, the center of the interest to what your eye is most naturally drawn to. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be designing in an OASE eco container that is a little bit taller than what a traditional long and low would be, but it's really nice, a little bit more modern, and we can pull our prom theme into it. And I went ahead and really greened it. When we're creating a long and low centerpiece, not only do we want to focus on our emphasis area, what's going to attract our eyes, but we really have to think about how we're going to lead our eyes down the table. What is going to be our placement? When we look at this all the way around, you can see it's a mixture of leather, myrtle, which is a linear product, which helps us to create rhythm and line, and seeded eucalyptus, which has a natural drape to it, and it's a little bit softer overall. The reason that I chose this is it has that nice kind of grayish green in it, which pulls our container in and makes it just a little bit more romantic, and that's what prom should be. On the inside is about not quite half a brick of Oasis wet foam that's been soaked. It was put in vertical, so it looks like this, and then I beveled the edges so it's easier to round it to lead your eyes down. I'm going to use just regular red roses. My filler flower is going to be Gypsophilia, or baby's breath. And the ribbon that I chose, oh, here it is, has that silver hue to it. It also has that sparkle that's going to pull the white out of the baby's breath in. To start, we're going to place our roses. They're going to be our emphasis. So there's two ways to think about it. A focal is when we talk about there's one point that initially draws our eyes in. For a long and low centerpiece, because we want to make it the same on all sides, it has to be beautiful and we want it to lead our eyes down, we're going to have multiple emphasis areas. So today those roses are going to really be that and pull our eyes throughout to create this rhythm down the table. We're going to take them. Again, you can do a couple things. If you have bad petals on them, you can go down and pull the petals off. These are considered your guard petals. The other cool fun fact with roses are if they're room temperature and bigger, you can reflex them, where you take your thumb at the bottom of the petal, or any finger, and you fold it down. And it kind of makes it look like a Beauty and Beast rose. And it makes it huge, right? So now I'm getting double the impact for the same price of this rose. I could keep going. I'm not. I don't want to waste too much time, but it makes it a lot larger. And then as I take it and place it in, I'm going to find the bottom edge of my container, add it, and then I'm going to stair step that weight. And stair stepping is really important because that really helps us create that rhythm. So in a centerpiece, we want to have multiple emphasis areas, but we also want to have beautiful rhythm, and that's what's going to lead our eyes. This is going to be our first emphasis, and then we're going to lead our eyes throughout. From there, I'm going to take my roses, and I'm going to extend it to make my proportion. I'm fighting a thorn. I'm going to add it in right at the edge of the container, really allowing it for our eyes to see that shape and to lead it throughout. Without it, it's just kind of like greenery and then an emphasis area, right? Now with the color and the contrast of the greens and reds and the textures, you can start to see the rhythm and the emphasis areas throughout. So now I have 1, 2, 3, really creating that movement overall. And then because it's all around, even though it is all around, it doesn't have to be completely the same. I can take my 5th rose, add it to the back side. When we do that, it creates a little bit more depth and visual interest. I'm going to tuck this rose in a little bit tighter. And it bisects the weight. Then I'm going to start to fill in with my Gypsophilia and connect the lines. So now we have these large mass flowers. We can really see this movement, the emphasis throughout. Our filler flower we're going to use to blend in, and we're going to use it in lots of little chunks. And you'll see the texture of that baby's breath, because it's a round texture, will start to balance the roundness of the red roses. And by adding white, you're contrasting your white versus your color, so it automatically starts to draw your eyes in a little bit more. We have to be super careful though when we mix whites and colors because sometimes it takes away from our overall design. Today these really go together because it's very romantic, it's very prom-like, and we're thinking about that overall. The other thing that My Baby's Breath does is it allows us to really connect our lines. So when we create a centerpiece, rules of a centerpiece are height, right? If we're sitting at the table, we want to make sure that we can see over it. So on average, if you put your elbow on the table and make a fist and put your chin on it, you don't want it any taller than that. We have it. And then we want to make sure that we're creating nice depth and movement. Connecting our lines and making sure it's balanced on all sides. If I put it on the front right, I'm going to bisect it and I'm going to put it on the back left. That way it really creates the rhythm, it leads our eyes throughout, and that's super important. We want it to pretty much be the same on all sides. Adding a little bit up higher, that way my hands are touching everything all the way down and I'm creating this really nice long and low. This side, compared to this side, you can see that it fills in a little bit better with my greenery. I'm going to take and add in just a little bit extra myrtle since it's that linear and it pulls your eyes in just a little bit more. Using the Baby's Breath, I need it to be longer, but I also don't want it to be too much, so I'm thinning it out a little bit more, filling that gap in, making it loose in area. I still have a lot of negative space, but you can see the more that I add in there, the tighter it gets and it makes another emphasis area. And we really want our roses to be those emphasis. So maybe I go back in, if you have time, and I trim just a little bit out. By taking that much out, that texture no longer is fighting for the focal. After that, I'm gonna make some cute little bow picks. I have a thinner gauge wire. It's a 24 gauge. I have a number 3. It's probably technically closer to a number 5. It's a little bit thicker. Again, it has that silver, it has that white. It's going to pull it through. I'm going to start with my tail up to the sky. I'm going to fold it, bring it up, make a bunny ear, make a second one, bring it up. That's one way. I'll show you 2 different ways to make them depending on how you want to. And then I will take the wire and I'm physically going to wrap it around, cinch it, twist, and now you have a pick. And the nice thing is I chose a wire with ribbon or a wire on the outside, so it fluffs it just a little bit better. We can take these, add these in here, and now we're really creating a little bit more movement, more interest by adding that. The other way is you can make it just like a bow, except without the center loop. So I just start, make a loop, twist, loop, twist. And with this one, I usually do 3. I think it looks prettier. I'll take my piece of wire over the top, pull it down, twist. You can also use your jewelry pliers for that. And then I'm gonna take and add this guy in as well. Again, kind of counterbalancing that weight, adding it throughout, and just 2 picks. Like $3 in ribbon. See how much it really pulls the movement together. It pulls it very nicely. My colors have become one, and I'm creating these nice little emphasis areas throughout and creating that detail and rhythm.